is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. West Fargo police are looking for the suspect in an aggravated assault that sent 4 schools into lockdown today. The suspect was last seen running east from the scene at 9th Street and 13th Avenue East. Around 9 this morning, police asked for exterior doors to be locked at West Fargo High School and 3 elementaries, Eastwood, L.E. Berger, and Willow Park. Police lifted the closure about 90 minutes later, saying there's no threat to the schools or students. They say the assault is not connected to either of last week's shootings in West Fargo, but wouldn't release any more information, saying it would jeopardize their investigation. Officials in Wadena County say a mobile home caught fire overnight after power lines fell down. Police responded to the fire just before 2:30 this morning in Lyons Township. They found several live power lines had fallen across the road after high winds knocked a tree onto them. The mobile home was fully engulfed in flames. Approximately 3 acres was burning. Along with the home, several pieces of equipment and machinery were damaged. Poor visibility from the 15,000-acre grass fire in Polk County yesterday may have been a factor in a crash. The sheriff's office responded to a crash on 320th Street Southeast and 120th Avenue Southeast just before 5:30 last night. A pickup driven by 47-year-old Mark Johnson of Mentor struck an Erskine fire truck head-on, then kept driving, almost hitting another one. The fire truck was damaged so much that it couldn't continue fighting the fire. We're learning more about yesterday's crash that ended with an RV in someone's yard. It happened just after 5 yesterday afternoon at the intersection of 10th Street North and 5th Avenue South in Fargo. Police say the vehicle ran a red light after the passenger snatched the keys out of the ignition and left the driver unable to stop. The driver was cited for driving without insurance, and a report for the passenger was completed for reckless endangerment. That report has been forwarded to the state's attorney's office for review. We're just learning that a fire emergency has been declared for Cass County, as well as a burn ban. Any violators of that could face up to 30 days in jail and up to a $1,500 fine. Here's a first look at conditions now with meteorologist Nathan Hopper. Nathan.
Thanks, Stacy. Happy Tuesday to you and happy Tuesday, everybody. Temperatures, though, not quite as happy as they were yesterday. This is the 24-hour temperature change. I came into work today, and our little scale here actually didn't get to 40 degree temperature change. So I had to adjust this to show the whites there. Those whites are 45 to 50 degrees colder today at this time than we were at this time yesterday. But you can see Watertown 46 degrees cooler, Fargo 47 degrees cooler, 30 degrees cooler in Devil's Lake, and these northwest winds are the primary culprit. They've been strong and they've been moving that cold air in very quickly to our neck of the woods here on this Tuesday. Here's the peak wind gusts that we've seen so far today. I want to point out Langdon, 67 miles per hour, that peak wind gust, 60 miles per hour in Jamestown. In Fargo, a peak wind gust of 48 miles per hour. Current wind gusts, though, still out of the northwest in our North Dakota neighborhoods around, say, 25 to 35 miles per hour. Out of the west in Minnesota, our friends in Minnesota not left out of the gusty conditions either. And of course, a quick look, Stacy, at the weather headlines. A wind advisory does continue for the next couple of hours. But of course, I've got good news, quieter weather in the forecast in the days ahead. So we'll talk about all that coming up in a few minutes.
That is the best news. I'm done with this wind, Nathan.
And me too, yeah.
And lots of damage everywhere you look. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
A thrift store in Grand Forks is asking for help after thieves walked off with donated items. St. Joseph's Social Care and Thrift Store posted this video online. They're asking the public to drop off donations only during scheduled times, 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday, because people have been stealing donations left after hours. This isn't the first time this has happened at St. Joseph's. We'll have much more on that tonight on Valley News Live at 6. The murder trial for former Minneapolis police officer Derek Shovin resumed for a second day today. Jurors heard compelling testimony from several witnesses, including the teenager who shot the cell phone video of the deadly arrest. Michael George has the latest from Minneapolis.
It's been nights. I stayed up apologizing to George Floyd for not doing more.
Appearing off camera, a now 18-year-old Darnella Frazier gave powerful testimony about the day she recorded the viral video of former police officer Derek Chauvin kneeling on the neck of George Floyd.
He just stared at us, looked at us. He had like this cold look, heartless, He didn't care.
Defense attorney Eric Nelson questioned Frazier about the actions of the bystanders.
The volume of the people in that were bystanders grew louder over time. Would you agree with that?
Yes, more so as he was becoming more unresponsive.
Frazier's 9-year-old cousin was standing beside her as the incident unfolded last May.
I was sad and kind of mad because it felt like he was stopping his breathing and it is kind of like hurting him.
It's been 10 months since George Floyd's death. Here in Minneapolis, many say watching the trial and hearing the testimony of the witnesses has reopened the wounds from that day.
I think about it every single day.
Pastor William Seth Martin leads a multi-ethnic congregation in South Minneapolis. He believes justice can help heal the community.
My wife, as we watched the trial yesterday for the first time, it was the first time I saw her cry about it, actually in a while. And it stirred up those raw emotions.
The defense maintains Floyd's death was the result of drug abuse and an underlying heart condition, and has defended Chauvin's use of force. Michael George, CBS News, Minneapolis.
If convicted of second-degree murder, Shovin faces up to 40 years in prison. He faces up to 25 years if convicted of third-degree murder and up to 10 years if convicted of second-degree manslaughter. Starting today, the general population on both sides of the Red River qualify for a COVID vaccine, but some health officials say they just aren't getting enough doses. Clay County Public Health says they only received 300 doses this week. That's about a third of what they got last week. They also can't vaccinate 16 and 17-year-olds right now because they only have the Moderna vaccine. Clay County is still trying to get through vaccinating the earlier priority groups like essential workers and people with underlying health conditions.
It's a limited amount of vaccine, so we will hopefully be able to request more doses in the following weeks so that we can get as many people vaccinated as possible.
Clay County officials say they haven't wasted a single dose of the vaccine. Ndsu is partnering with Stanford to hold its first vaccine clinic for students, faculty, and staff. It'll take place tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stanford Health Athletic Complex. Parking is available in the lot south of the complex. To stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's right on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. The leader of the study of COVID-19 origins by the World Health Organization addressed concerns that China censored their data and that the virus was leaked from a lab. Doctors who traveled to Wuhan are discounting the idea that COVID came from a laboratory leak, but they say it is possible. They're admitting that investigators did not have access to all the data they wanted, but they say China didn't pressure their team to remove elements in the report. They're emphasizing that this first report was just beginning their research and much more needs to be done.
This is only a first start. We've only scratched the surface of this very complex set of studies that need to be conducted, and we have pointed to many additional studies that should be conducted from now on.
The U.S. and 13 other countries expressed concerns about the study because investigators were delayed from entering China until months after the pandemic began. They've also said critical data was withheld from them. With another holiday comes another warning from the CDC. The CDC says the safest way you can celebrate Easter this weekend is to do it with people who live with you. You're also advised to practice religious holiday customs at home and attend religious services virtually. They suggest enjoying holiday meals at home rather than going out, and they say if you do plan to celebrate with others, remember outdoors is safer than indoors. A heads up for people who travel along South University Drive in Fargo. On Thursday morning, the city is moving a house from near the country club to its new location south of Fargo. It'll impact traffic for about 2 hours starting at 8:30 a.m. A fan favorite ice cream shop in Moorhead is giving back to our healthcare heroes today. The Moorhead Dairy Queen is giving doctors 25% off all orders. All you have to do is show your work ID to get the discount. That offer runs until 10 tonight. The Bison are scheduled to be back home at the Fargo Dome this weekend as they take on South Dakota State. Join us Saturday at 1:30 p.m. for the pregame show. We'll take you right up to the 2:30 p.m. kickoff. You can catch all the action on KVLY.
I just can't get enough of it.
Right after the break, we'll take you to Iceland, where thousands of people are gathering to catch a once-in-a-lifetime sight.
And good news for tonight, the winds will be calming down a little bit still, though, around 25 miles per hour. That breeze will be in Fargo by the 10 o'clock hour, but we do see temperatures, though, staying cold in Fargo. You can see down cooling into those 20s there, so cold air in store for tonight, but we'll talk about a quieter forecast after the break.